Alright, enough of that. Had to bring it back old school for you guys. Song of the day, I guess. It's my first podcast doing it about the Strikeforce event tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be a real good one. Got a nice card. Not too sure what to think. I hope it still remains a Strikeforce event. Uh, but I'm not too sure because they're owned by Zuffa. So the WEC was WEC for a while, then it started to look like a Zuffa card and began to change from there. Then, it got absorbed, and a lot of guys at 155 got cut and they ain't getting a check no more. So, not too sure what to expect. I do expect fireworks because everybody now is fighting for their jobs. From 155 on up, because now when they get ready to absorb Strikeforce, which they will, if you look like shit, you won't have a job because Dana White ain't having it. So, not too sure who's gonna stay around, who's not. Paul Daley's not too sure. He's got to knock guys out, so there's a high demand for him. Hopefully, it works out. The main event tomorrow, obviously, well, I'll start from the bottom up as far as TV cards go. Aoki against Beer Bomb. Beer Bomb's out of Spokane. Aoki's out of Japan, as everybody knows. Aoki's a jiu-jitsu master and schools guys on the ground. He was knocked out, though, on New Year's Eve. In a weird kind of card, and it was a MMA slash Muay Thai card. The first round was Muay Thai boxing. I can't remember the guy's name. Dresses up like a girl. Kirajari, I think. No, Kirajari's fighting him later on, but can't remember his name. Aoki ran and did everything he could to survive. And started the second round, he goes in with the shot, catches a flying knee, and he sleep. So, be good to see how he bounces back from that, but I still expect him to ride Lyle Beer Bomb for as long as he can until he submits him. It's going to take him down, no problem. He should ride him. Beer Bomb is a good fighter, 16-1. So if he wins, it won't be a surprise, but my money's with Aoki. I just don't see, once it goes to the ground, how Beer Bomb will be able to survive. Next fight on the card will be Jardine against Mosasi. Real easy. Mosasi by massacre. Jardine's always a hell of a fighter. He likes to fight. He brings it. He's 35. So, and he's not a young 35. He's an old 35. He's been fighting for a while. He's been in a lot of wars, and it shows. Masasi, I don't know if he could. He should be able to do whatever he wants. If it goes to the ground, it'll be no problem. The same thing. So Masasi by massacre. He was supposed to fight Mike Kyle, which I was excited to see, but Kyle got hurt. So, be interesting to see what they do with Mike Kyle after that. He's never lost at 205, so that'd have been a good fight. My money would have been with Mike Kyle, but he's not fighting, so riding with Masasi. We got El Nino, my boy Gilbert Melendez, against Kirajari, the Crusher Kirajari. Another, fight. I think Kirajari will be overwhelmed by El Nino, who's a beast at 155. Can't wait to see him at 155 against some of the other guys. The only thing is, Melendez, last I checked, was only technically a purple belt, so that'll be kind of hard to see. He does study, under the Gracies, under Cesar Gracie out there with the Diaz brothers and Jake Shields and so on and so forth. So that will be good to see, that card. But at the end of the day, he is only a purple. So when he goes to the UFC, that'll be really interesting to see how he matches up with Gray Maynard, Frankie Eggers. I think he'll have BJ's number if they ever fight at 155, because BJ's not the same fighter at 55 no more. Too much of a cut. I think mentally, he's not the same fighter at 55. He's a beast at 70. He's not the same at 55. But it'd be interesting to see when they merge or if they merge. I think they will. I don't see why they won't. Um, but I gotta go with Melendez. Same thing. And then Semtex Daley, my boy Semtex Daley against Nick Diaz. I like Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is a beast. He'll stand up with you. He'll take you to the ground, submit you, roll you up, everything, no problem. Semtex Daley is left hook only. You know, he kind of reminds me of Frazier. He's coming in with that left hook. You know what he's throwing. He's gonna throw it. If he hits you with it, it's gonna hurt. Diaz has every advantage, but I'm going with Semtex Daley. He went 2 rounds with Jake Shields, 5 rounds with Koscheck. If he loses, if Semtex loses, it will look like Nate Diaz against my boy with the gold hair, Melvin Gillard. It'll look like Diaz against Melvin Gillard. It'll be something very similar to that fashion, where Diaz will be overwhelmed in the stand-up because he's a good boxer, but he takes too many shots. He's not a true boxer. He's an MMA fighter. So he takes too many shots. It was obvious in the last Cyborg fight. He took some shots. He's just in great shape, so he can bounce back from them shots a lot faster. But he is a beast, and I like Diaz. Don't take it away from Diaz. I like Diaz. When it comes to fighting, if Diaz is ever on TV, I'm watching it. There'll never be a boring Nick Diaz fight because the guy wants to stall. He can't stall. You go to the ground, he's going to submit him. He's going to try his best to submit him, which will work for him getting up. And if he gets up, he's going to try to box you up. So I'm interested to see that merger because I would like to see. Everybody wants to see Nick Diaz and GSP. I want to see Nick Diaz and Koscheck because I want to see how good Koscheck really is. For some reason, he's not a champion. That's obvious. But I want to see if he's going to be. Sorry, Hell's Angels rolling by. If he's going to be the true gatekeeper for the title or for 170. Because, I mean, what does he have? He has a strong right hand. He will knock some guys with lesser stand-up out at 170. And he will wrestle and take them to the ground. But I would like to see Nick Diaz against Koscheck. But back to the fight. Back to Strikeforce. Semtex Daley. I'm going with Semtex Daley. You know, he's a beast. He's on a ride. You know, he's never been beaten by anybody as far as his stand-up goes. I mean, you could take him down all day. But I just don't see Diaz, who doesn't have the wrestling ability to take somebody down, taking them down. I can see a judo throw or something of that nature, but if Semtex is smart, he's going to move, stay away, do what he has to do, drop bombs, and I can see him knocking Diaz out in similar fashion to the way he knocked out Scott Smith. He'll be backing up and he'll hit him with something, boom. Because Diaz does, like I said earlier, he does get hit with a lot of shots. So we'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm riding with Semtex on this one, but like I say, if he loses, it will look like the Nate Diaz versus Melvin Gillard fight. It won't be, Diaz just won't run through Semtex. I highly doubt it. If he does, he's the best guy at 170, hands down. The UFC needs to give him a bunch of money so that they can make that big money fight happen, because him and GSP will be a much better fight than GSP versus Anderson Silva. That won't even be a fight. That'll be Anderson Silva beating the hell out of GSP and taking all his confidence and everything else he's worked for. But that fight with Nick Diaz will be a good one. But he's better than Semtex Daley, but he won't win this fight. So those are my predictions. As far as the undercard goes, a lot of guys I haven't really heard of, but I will say that Virgil Swicker is pretty good. He's a beast. Watch out for him. But Brett Albee, the guy he's fighting, is no joke. So I don't know who I'm gonna go with, but that will be one of the undercard, the preliminary card fights that I would like to see. So hopefully, you know, when the entire card comes out, they'll have those fights posted. But I'm saying it now: Aoki, Masasi, Melendez, and my boy Semtex Daley. So this is your boy Rondizzle Juice, signing out. You know, holla at y'all when I see y'all.